inside me that pulls beneath the surface, consuming, confusing. This lack of self-control I fear is never ending, controlling. I can't seem to find myself again. My walls are closing in.
Not a sense of confidence, I'm convinced that there's just too much pressure to take.
I felt this way before, so insecure. Crawling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal. Fear is how I fall, confusing what is real. Discomfort endlessly has pulled itself upon me, distracting, reacting. Against my will I stand beside my own reflection. It's haunting how I can't seem to find myself again. My walls are closing in.
Not a sense of confidence, I'm convinced that there's just too much pressure to take.
I felt this way before, so insecure. Try to start again. I don't want to be the one the battles always choose, 'cause inside I realize that I'm the one confused. I don't know what's worth fighting for, or why I have to scream. I don't know why I instigate and say what I don't mean. I don't know how I got this way, I know it's not alright, so I'm breaking the habits. I'm breaking the habits tonight. when this began.
I had nothing to say, and I'd get lost in the nothingness inside of me.
I was confused,
and I let it all out to find that I'm not the only person with these things in mind.
inside of me.
But all the vacancy the words revealed is the only real thing that I've got left to feel.
Nothing to lose.
Just stuck, hollow and alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is my own.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long.
Erase all the pain till it's gone.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I wanted all along, somewhere I belong.
And I've got nothing to say. I can't believe I didn't fall right down on my face.
I was confused,
Looking everywhere, only to find that it's not the way I had imagined it all in my mind.
so what am
What do I have but negativity? Cause I can't justify the way everyone is looking at me.
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to gain, hollow and alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is my own.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long.
Erase all the pain till it's gone.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I wanted all along, somewhere I belong. I will never know myself until I do this on my own, and I will never feel anything else until my wounds are healed. I will never fade anything till I break away from me. I will break away, I'll find myself today. I wanna heal, I wanna feel what I thought was never real. I wanna let go of the pain I felt so long.
Erase all the pain till it's
I
gone.
wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something real. I wanna find something I wanted all along, somewhere I belong. I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm somewhere I belong. I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm somewhere I belong, somewhere I belong. I cannot take this anymore, saying everything I've said before. All these words, they make no sense. I find bliss in ignorance. Less I hear, the less you say. You'll find that out anyway. Just like before. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe, 'cause I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. I find the answers aren't so clear. Wish I could find a way to decide.
There are just too many times that people have tried to look inside of me, wondering what I think of you and I protect you out of courtesy. Too many times that I've held on when I needed to push away, afraid to say what was on my mind, afraid to say what I need to say. Too many things that you said about me when I'm not around. You think having the upper hand means you gotta keep putting me down, but I've had too many standoffs with you. It's about as much as I can stand, so I'm waiting until the upper hand is mine.
1 minute you're on top,
the next you're not, watch it drop,
making your heart stop.
just before you hit the floor.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, missed your shot,
making your heart stop.
you think you won, and then it's all gone. So many people like me put so much trust in all your lies, so concerned with what you think to just say what we feel inside. So many people like me walk on eggshells all day long. All I know is it, all I want is to feel like I'm not stepped on. There are so many things you say that make me feel you cross the line. What goes up will surely fall, and I'm counting down the time, cause I've had so many standoffs with you. It's about as much as I can stand, so I'm waiting until the upper hand is mine.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, watch it drop,
making your heart stop.
just before you hit the floor.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, missed your shot,
making your heart stop.
you think you won, and then it's all gone. 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 Now it's all gone. I know I'll never trust a single thing you say. You knew your lies would divide us, but you lied anyway. And all the lies have got you floating up above us all, but what goes up has got to fall.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, watch it drop,
making your heart stop.
just before you hit the floor.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, missed your shot,
making your heart stop.
you think you won, and then it's all gone. 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 Now it's all gone. Yeah, here we go for the 100th time. Hand grenade pins in every line. Throw them up and let something shine. Going out of my fucking mind. Filthy mouth, no excuse. Find a new place to hang this noose. String me up from atop these roofs. Knot it tight so I won't get loose. Truth is you can stop and stare. Run myself out and no one cares. Dug the trench out, lay down there with a shovel up out of reach somewhere. Yeah, someone pour it in. Make it a dirt dance floor again. Saying prayers and stop it out when they bring that chorus in.
I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away, just to throw it away. I bleed it out.
Go, stop the show. Choppy words in a sloppy flow. Shotgun opera, lock and load. Cock it back and then watch it go. Mama help me, I've been cursed. Death is rolling in every verse. Candy paint on his brand new hearse. Can't contain him, he knows he works. Fuck, this hurts, I won't lie. Doesn't matter how hard I try. Half the words don't mean a thing, and I know that I won't be satisfied. So why try ignoring him? Make it a dirt dance floor again. Say your prayers and stop it out when they bring that chorus in.
I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away, just to throw it away. I bleed it out. I've opened up these scars. I'll make you face us. I pulled myself so far. I'll make you face us. No! I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away, just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away.
feel so far away from me.
Heavy thoughts sift through dust and the lies.
Trying not to break, but I'm so tired of this deceit. Every time I try to make myself get back up on my feet, all I ever think about is this. All the tiring time between, and how trying to put my trust in you just takes so much out of me.
Take everything from the inside and throw it all away, 'cause I swear for the last time I won't trust myself with you. Tension is building inside steadily.
Everyone feels so far away from me.
Heavy thoughts forcing their way out of me.
Trying not to break, but I'm so tired of this deceit. Every time I try to make myself get back up on my feet, all I ever think about is this. All the tiring time between, and how trying to put my trust in you just takes so much out of me.
Take everything from the inside and throw it all away, 'cause I swear for the last time I won't trust myself with you. I won't waste myself on you. Waste myself on you. I'll take everything from the inside and throw it all away, 'cause I swear for the last time I won't trust myself with you. Everything from the inside and just throw it all away, 'cause I swear for the last time I won't trust myself with you.
I watch how the moon sits in the sky on a dark night, shining with the light from the sun. The sun doesn't give light to the moon, assuming the moon's gonna owe it one. It makes me think of how you act to me. You do favors there rapidly. You just turn around and start asking me about things that you want back from me. I'm sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest.
I wanna be in another place. I hate when you say you don't understand. I wanna be in the energy, not with the enemy, a place on my head.
Maybe someday I'll be just like you and step on people like you do and run away all the people I thought I knew. I remember back then who you were. You used to be calm, used to be strong, used to be generous, but you should have known that you wear out your welcome, and now you see how quiet it is all alone. I'm so sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest. I'm so sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest.
I wanna be in another place. I hate when you say you don't understand. I wanna be in the energy, not with the enemy, a place for my head.
You
Try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. I wanna be in another place. I hate when you say you don't understand. I wanna be in the energy, not with the enemy, a place for my head.
day. Something in here's not right today. Why am I so uptight today? Paranoia is all I got left. I don't know what stressed me first, how the pressure was fed, but I know just what it feels like to have a voice in the back of my head, like a face that I hold inside, face that awakes when I close my eyes, face that I watch every time I lie, face that laughs every time I fall. So I know that when it's time to sink or swim, the face inside is hearing me right underneath my skin.
It's like a paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin.
I know I've got a face in me, points out all my mistakes to me. You got a face on the inside too. Your paranoia is probably worse. I don't know what set me on first, but I know what I can't stand. Everybody acts, the fact of the matter is I can't add up to what you can. But everybody has a face that they hold inside, face that awakes when I close my eyes, face that watches every time they lie, face that laughs every time they fall. So you know that when it's time to sink or swim, that the face inside is watching you too, right inside your skin.
It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath the skin. It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin. The face inside is right beneath the skin. The face inside is right beneath the skin. The face inside is right beneath the skin. The sun goes I feel the light betray me. The sun goes I feel the light betray me. It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath the skin. It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin.
A little bit of loneliness, a little bit of disregard, handful of complaints, but I can't help the fact that everyone can see these scars. What I want you to want, what I want you to feel, but it's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real. So let go, watching you turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got.
I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. Time won't change this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored.
A little bit insecure, a little unconfident, cause you don't understand to do what I can, but sometimes I don't make sense. What you never want to say, but I've never had a doubt. It's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you for once just to hear me out. So let go, watching you turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got.
I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. Time won't change this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. No, hear me out now. You're gonna listen to me like it or not. Right now, hear me out now. You're gonna listen to me to stay away from me. Sometimes I'm in disbelief, I didn't know. Somehow I need you to go. Don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. What you were changing me into, just giving myself back and don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. Take all your faithlessness with you, just giving myself back and don't stay. Sometimes I feel like I trusted you too well. Sometimes I just feel like screaming at myself. Sometimes I'm in disbelief, I didn't know. Somehow I need to be alone. Don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. What you were changing me into, just giving myself back and don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. Take all your faithlessness with you, just giving myself back and don't stay. I don't need you anymore. I don't want to be ignored. I don't need one more day of you wasting me away. I don't need you anymore. I don't want to be ignored. I don't need one more day of you wasting me away. With no apology, don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. What you were changing me into, just giving myself back and don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. Take all your faithlessness with you, just giving myself back and don't stay. Don't stay. Don't stay.
When I pretend everything is what I want it to be, I look exactly like what you had always wanted to see. When I pretend I can forget about the criminal I am, stealing second after second just cause I know I can. But I can't pretend this is the way it'll stay. I'm just
Trying to bend the truth,
I can't pretend I'm who you want me to be, so I'm
lying my way from you.
no turning back
I
now.
wanna be pushed aside, so let me go.
No turning back now.
Let me take back my life. I'd rather be all alone.
No turning back now.
Anywhere on my own, 'cause I can say
No turning back
the
now.
very worst part of you is me.
I remember what they taught to me. Remember condescending talk of who I ought to be. Remember listening to all of that and this again. So I pretended up a person who was fitting in. And now you think this person really is me, and I'm
Trying to bend the truth,
the more I push, the more I'm pulling away, 'cause I'm
lying my way from you.
no turning back
I
now.
wanna be pushed aside, so let me go.
No turning back now.
Let me take back my life. I'd rather be all alone.
No turning back now.
Anywhere on my own, 'cause I can say
No turning back
the
now.
very worst part of you. The very worst part of you. a space to burn, a breath to build a glow. I've heard it said 1,000 times, but now I know that you don't know what you've got. Oh, you don't know what you've got. No, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. Until it's gone. What
vicious than the shock when you flip it on me. So hollow, so vicious, so afraid I couldn't let myself see that I could never be held back or up, no, I hold myself. Check the rep, yep, you know my well. Forget the rest, let them know my hell. There and back, yet my soul ain't sell. Kept respect up, the best they fell. Let the rest be the tale they tell that I was there saying,
And these promises broken deep below. Each word gets lost in the echo. So one last lie I can see through. This time I finally let you go. Go, go.
test my will, test my heart. Let me tell you how the odds gonna stack up. Yeah, I go hard, I go smart. How's that working out for y'all in the back, huh? I've seen that frustration, been crossed and lost and told no. And I've come back unshaken, let down and lived and let go. So you can let it be known, I don't hold back, I hold my own. I can't be mapped, I can't be cloned. I can't see flat, it ain't my tone. I can't fall back, I came too far. Hold myself up and love my scars. Let the bells ring wherever they are, cause I was there saying,
And these promises broken deep below. Each word gets lost in the echo. So one last lie I can see through. This time I finally let you go.
no. You can tell them all now, I don't back up, I don't back down. I don't fold up and I don't bow. I don't roll over, don't know how. I don't care where the enemies are. Can't be stopped, all I know go hard. Won't forget how I got this far, but every time saying,
And these promises broken deep below. Each word gets lost in the echo. So one last lie I can see through. This time I finally let you go. Go, 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 go. I remembered black skies, the lightning all around me. I remembered each flash as time began to blur. Like a startling sign that fate had finally found me. And your voice was all I heard, that I get what I deserve. So give me reason to prove me wrong, to wash this memory clean. Let the thoughts cross the distance in your eyes. Give me reason to fill this hole, connect the space between.
first, no sequel to the math, no equal. John with no yoke, more power, less people. And no, I'm not afraid of that. Print it in your paperback. Every rapper's made it back to axis of the late attack. Every phrase a razor blade is say it till they play it back. Slay 'em, leave 'em laying on the paper, bang, fade to black.
In the wastelands of today, where there's nothing left to lose, and there's nothing more to take, but you force yourself to choose. In the wastelands of today, where tomorrow disappears, when the future slips away, and your heart turns into fear. In the wastelands of today.
Roll credits, you get it, the show's done. They're talking for just talking, the meaning they got none. None of them come proper, they talk like a shotgun. But how many got bred with integrity? Not one. So no, I'm not afraid to see you suckers holding blade to me. Ain't no way to shake the ground I built before you came to be. Take it how you take it, I'm the opposite of vacancy. And this is not negotiation, I can hate and wait and see.
In the wastelands of today, where there's nothing left to lose, and there's nothing more to take, but you force yourself to choose. In the wastelands of today, where tomorrow disappears, when the future slips away, and your heart turns into fear, and your hope turns into fear. In the wastelands of today. In the wasteland of today, where there's nothing left to lose, and there's nothing more to take, but you force yourself to choose. In the wasteland of today, where tomorrow disappears, when the future slips away, and your hope turns into fear, and your hope turns into fear. In the wasteland of today. In the wastelands of today. In the wastelands of today. Graffiti decorations under a sky of dust, a constant wave of tension on top of broken trust. The lessons that you taught me, I learned were never true. Now I find myself in question.
They point the finger at me again.
Guilty by association.
You point the finger at me again.
I wanna run away, never say goodbye. I wanna know the truth instead of wondering why. I wanna know the answers, no more lies. I wanna shut the door and open up my mind. Paper bags and angry voices under a sky of dust. Another wave of tension has more than filled me up. On my talk of taking action, these words were never true. Now I find myself in question.
They point the finger at me again.
Guilty by association.
You point the finger at me again.
I wanna run away, never say goodbye. I wanna know the truth instead of wondering why. I wanna know the answers, no more lies. I wanna shut the door and open up my mind.
I built you up, but you let me down. So when you fall, I take my turn and fan the flames as your blazes burn.
You were there at the turn, waiting to let me know. We're building it up to break it back down. We're building it up to burn it down. We can't wait to burn it to the
When you
ground.
fall, I take my turn and fan the flames as your blazes burn.
We can't wait to burn it to
When
the
you
ground.
fall, I take my turn and fan the flames as your blazes burn.
We can't wait to burn it to the ground.
Take me down to the riverbend. Take me down to the fighting end. Wash the poison from off my skin. Show me how to be whole again. Fly me up on a silver wave, past the black where the sirens sing. Warm me up in the nova's glow, drop me down to the dream below. 'Cause I'm only a crack in this castle of glass. Hardly anything there for you to see, for you to see. Bring me home in a blinding dream, through the secrets that I have seen. Wash the sorrow from off my skin, and show me how to be whole again. 'Cause I'm only a crack in this castle of glass. Hardly anything there for you to see, for you to see. Cause I'm only a crack in this castle of glass. Hardly anything else I need to be. 'Cause I'm only a crack in this castle of glass. Hardly anything there for you to see, for you to see. For you to
never seen blood. You had sold me an ocean, and I was lost in the flood. We were counting on a leader, and we were driven by need. We couldn't take temptation, and we were blinded by greed. You were steady as a sniper, we were waiting on a wire, so we never saw it coming. When you ran from the fire, you could try intimidation, you could try to ignore, but when the time comes calling, yeah, you were gonna get yours.
Another day, your truth will come. You're gonna pay for what you pay for what you've done. Don't get what's yours and face your pride. Don't tell them, give me back what's mine. Give me back what's mine. And so today, your truth has come. You're gonna pay for what you pay for what you've done. Don't get what's yours. You're out of time, and you will give me back what's mine. Give me back what's mine.
Stood on the wall, laughed at the sun, and laughed at the guns, and laughed at it all. And when they told us to go, we paid them no mind, like every other time. But little did we know.
When you feel you're alone, cut off from this cruel world, your instincts telling you to run. Listen to your heart, those angel voices. They'll say to you, they'll be your guide back home when life leaves us blind. Love keeps us kind. It keeps us kind. When you suffered enough and your spirit is breaking, you're growing desperate from the fight. Remember your Lord dreamed I was missing. You were so scared, but no one would listen, 'cause no one else cared. After my dreaming, I woke with this fear. What am I leaving when I'm done here? So if you're asking me, I want you to know, when my time comes, forget the wrong that I've done. Help me leave behind some reasons to be met. And don't resent me, and when you're feeling empty, keep me in your memory. Leave out all the rest. Leave out all the rest. Don't be afraid of taking my beating, of shit that I made. I'm strong on the surface, not all the way through. I've never been perfect, but neither have you. So if you're asking me, I want you to know, when my time comes, forget the wrong that I've done. Help me leave behind some reasons to be missed. Don't resent me, and when you're feeling empty, keep me in your memory. Leave out all the rest. Leave out all the rest. Forgetting all the hurt inside you've learned you had so well. Pretending someone else can come and save me from myself. I can't be who you are. When my time comes, forget the wrong that I've done. Help me leave behind some reasons to be missed. Don't resent me, and when you're feeling empty, keep me in your memory. Leave out all the rest. Leave out all the rest. Forgetting all the hurt inside you've learned you had so well. Pretending someone else can come and save me from myself. I can't be who you are. I can't be who you are. Tearing me apart with words you wouldn't say. Suddenly tomorrow's moment washed away. it starts with
one thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on, didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard
and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
one thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard. In spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property, remembering all the times you fought with me, I'm surprised it got so. Things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be